everybody, and welcome back for the final match of day one. We are at the 2017 Kennebunk Savings Rugby Rampage for ParaSportsLive. I'm Tony Jackson, and this final match of the day featuring the New York Warriors versus Quebec. We're about to get underway here. Now, just read over the starting lineups real quick for both sides. For Quebec, number 7, Steve Mastine in the match. Also number 11, Charles Arsenault. Number 15, Patrice Simard in the match. And also number 10, Guillaume Bouchard. For the Warriors in the match, number 16, Armand Brunel. Also number 9, Joe Testaverde. Number 18, Brian Amundsen. And finally, number 31, Matt Castelluccio. And so Mastine takes the ball and over the line for the first point of the match. Brunel taking the ball for the Warriors. And we're going to get a turnover here in favor of Montreal. Simard for Montreal. Excuse me, for Quebec. Testaverde. Pressure. We're going to get a foul, illegal use of the hands on Steve Mastine for Quebec. So Mastine going to go into the penalty area for a minute, and the Warriors looking to get on the board. Testaverde bringing the ball up the floor, trying to get around Simard. Testaverde under pressure from Simard. Oh, and he loses the ball. Castelluccio now trying to pick it up, and Simard, nicely done. Good aggressive move by Patrice Simard, and he's going to earn another point for his team. Quebec now up 3-0 over New York. Good aggressive play by Simard. Now Testaverde for New York, working his way down the floor, and it looks like New York is going to get their first point of the match. And they do. It's now 3-1, and Mastine, who was sitting in the penalty area, has now rejoined the action. And that ball just caught by Arsenault. Charles Arsenault. Slammed into by Castelluccio and Brunel. And Arsenault forced to call timeout as he was being pushed towards the sideline. Good job by New York. So now Arsenault to Mastine. Mastine trapped but passes out to Simard. Patrice Simard trying to get around Castelluccio and Brunel, and he does. 4-1. Now the score in favor of Quebec. Castelluccio slammed into by Mastine. Castelluccio over the line, met by Simard, also met by Bouchard. Pass out to Brunel. Brunel passes back to Castelluccio, who races towards the goal area, and that is a point for New York. 4-2 the score. Patrice Samad almost lost the ball there. Samad down the floor, and he passes off to Asano. It's 5-2 Quebec. And it looks like Asano having a little issue with his belt. Looks like it came undone there. You'll see a lot of these players wear the ratchet strap because Velcro will eventually give out, but the ratchet straps seem to hold in fairly tight. Asano, however, using a Velcro restraining system, it came a little loose. Brian Amundsen for New York, inbounding the ball, trying to find an option. Castelluccio there. Castelluccio racing towards the center line. He's got 12 seconds to get over. Oh, nicely done by Samad, but the ball bounces to Brunel, and Brunel breaks away, scores a point for New York. Mastin for Quebec. Racing through and weaving past the New York defenders. Mastin trying to get around Castelluccio. He hits the brakes and reverses direction back the other way. And he scores another point. 6-3. Quebec over New York. Castelluccio cut off by Mastin, and he goes out. Mastin pushes him out over the line. That is a turnover in favor of Quebec. And behind us, we have Northeast Passage Blue versus Montreal. 8-5 the score in favor of Montreal at the moment. And a substitution for New York coming into the match. Leo Biscaya in place of Brian Amundsen. Patrice Samad with the ball for Quebec. And there's a nice collision there. The pass off to Asano, however, makes its way there. And Quebec with another point. They're up 7-3 over New York. Testaverde tries to make his way through, but he's cut off. Samad. Brunel tries to get the ball for New York, but Asano for Quebec takes control. Charles Asano looking to weave his way around that New York defense. He loses the ball, but he's able to pick it up quite easily. Samad. Patrice Samad passes over to Asano. Asano, can he turn in? No, he can't. Not before Testaverde gets there. The pass, Samad. Can he hold on? No, he can't. That is a turnover in favor of New York. 4 minutes left to go in the first period. If you're just joining us, Montreal 7, New York 3. Castelluccio over the line. Castelluccio going to score for New York. Samad going to try to do what he can to stop him, but decides to just let him go. It's probably the smart play there. You don't want to spin Castelluccio and end up committing a foul. So Mastin for Quebec, streaking down the line, scoring another point. for Quebec. It's now 8-4. Armand Brunel for the Warriors. Looking to pass to Castelluccio, but now he just tries to go around Mastine. He has to hurry. He gets the ball over the line to Testaverde, who passes to Castelluccio. Castelluccio scoring for New York, 8-5 the score. And there is a turnover. Castelluccio with the ball. Can he pick it up and gain control? Castelluccio, Mastine fighting. There's a scrum for the ball right now. And there was a timeout called. Who had possession of the ball? Let's see which way the official indicates. Oh, and the official, she's going to say that Quebec is going to get the ball because the ball was on the side of his chair. So Quebec maintains possession. And while we are in a timeout, we'll update you on the other score. 3:33 left in the first period of that one. Montreal looks like they're up 11-6 over Northeast Passage Blue. Here we have New York Warriors versus Quebec. That score 8-5. 3:11 to go in this first period. So now into the match for Quebec, taking the place of Guillaume Bouchard, number 52, Yannick Lacoste. And Simard loses the ball, but he's got enough speed to just catch up to it. Mastine for Quebec takes the pass. Mastine circling around, trying to clear out some space. Mastine finds his way back towards the top of the key area, and he just puts the ball into Samad's lap. Petzli Samad holds onto the ball for a moment. 2:37 left to go in the first period. The pass to Mastine. And there is a point for Quebec. (9-5) the score right now in favor of Quebec. Testaverde over to Castelluccio. Castelluccio almost lost the ball, but he was able to regain control, and now he's racing towards the goal line, and he makes it. 9-6 the score. There's Mastine just streaking down the floor. Castelluccio's not going to catch him. (10-6) the score now. Testaverde just kind of fighting his way through there. Mastine trying to catch up to him. Oh, and Mastine almost tips him over. That's going to be a point for New York. 10-7. Defenders have to be very careful because you're not really allowed to hit behind the axle, and you're not allowed to spin an opponent. So good job by Mastine not tipping over Testaverde. Now into the match for New York, number 7, Leo Biscaya, back in. And Samad's going to take the ball, put up another point for Quebec. Biscaya over to Brunel. Brunel seeking out Testaverde. He was open for just a moment. Now over to Castelluccio. Castelluccio off the back of Vizcaya's chair, Amundsen, or excuse me, Brunel. Nice save, passing it over to Testaverde. Brunel over to Castelluccio. Good movement by New York there. That was a close call. They almost turned the ball over, but a heads-up play by Brunel saved it, and now New York with 8. They trail by 3. Patrice Samad just racing around the New York defense, and he passes over to Mastin for point number 12 in favor of Quebec. And a long pass down the floor. Castelluccio is going to pick it up. Charles Alcino for Quebec, looking for Mastin. Steve Mastin. He pushes with so much power and pace that he's just able to easily get past pretty much everybody out there. And Castelluccio, a little bump there from Mastin. Mastin just kind of bullying his way through everybody. Leo Vizcaya in trouble here. Oh, and a turnover. Let's see who picks it up. There's a fight for the ball. Brunel comes away with it for New York, and a timeout by the Warriors. Good job by Brunel, gaining possession of the ball and then quickly calling a timeout. 29 seconds left to go in the first period. And when you're trailing, you really want to try to hold on to every possession that you can. On the other court behind us, Montreal and Northeast Passage Wildcats blue team. Montreal up 15-8, 1 minute left to go in that one. And on this court, we have about 29 seconds left. Quebec up 13-9 over New York. So now Leo Vizcaya going to pass it back in. Brunel going to take the ball. Armand Brunel over to Castelluccio. Castelluccio trying to get around Samad. Castelluccio trying to pass the ball. He's in trouble there. He passes over to Testaverde. Nicely done. Good recovery. Vizcaya trying to clear out some space, and it looks like Vizcaya went over the line. Got a little too aggressive on his play there, trying to free up his teammate. And so Quebec is going to take the ball with 12 seconds. Let's see if they can convert that into a score. Mastin's got 10 seconds to get over the line. Samad, the pass down to Alcino. Samad, Alcino takes it. Oh, and he's blocked up by his own teammate. 2 seconds, 1 second, and Alcino gets over the line just before the buzzer. Well done. For a moment, it didn't look like they were going to make it, but they did. It is now 14-9 in favor of Quebec. We're going to take a break. When we come back, period number 2. You're watching the 2017 Kennebunk Savings Rugby Rampage. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to start period number 2 here at the 2017 Rugby Rampage. This match, the New York Warriors versus Quebec for ParaSportsLive. I am Tony Jackson. And it's been a fairly close match so far. Quebec trying to pull away, but New York doing everything they can to keep it close. And to start period number 2, New York will take the ball. Joe Testaverde for the Warriors into Brunel. And Testaverde blocking off Samad, being held by Samad really. And we are going to get a foul on the play. And the call is 4 in the key. You can only have 3 in there, so it looks like Mastine is going to take a breather on the sidelines as Castelluccio passes in to Testaverde. Joe Testaverde. And it looked like Testaverde was forced over the line. So Montreal will get the ball if that's the case. There's a little bit of discussion, but Montreal is indeed going to get the ball. And there's the ball popped into Patrice Samad. And Alcino now for Quebec will take it and put another point on the board for the Quebecois. It is now 15-9. Warriors, as I said, at the top of the second period, trying to keep it close. Testaverde now trying to bring the ball back up the floor into the match for the Warriors. Number 6, Darren Templeton, in place of Leo Biscaya. And there is Brunel with a point for New York. Desperately needed. It is now 15-10. Mastine trying to get down the floor. Bouchard trying to carve a space out. Asano, however, trying to block off Castelluccio to allow Mastine to get around. The pass over to Guillaume Bouchard, who's not quite over the line yet. Nicely done by Brunel to hold him off, but Mastine just rams his teammate over the line. It's now 16-9. 1 minute gone by here in the second period. Looks like we had a correction in the score there. So it is 16-9 according to the official scoreboard. Now 17 in favor of Quebec. Away. Now he's trying to race past Samad. Samad stops him, but Brunel for New York takes the ball, blocked off by Mastine. Oh, and Brunel lost the ball, and that is going to go out in favor of, and we have a timeout for New York. The game's slowly starting to get away from them. They're down by 8 at the moment. 6:11 left to go in this second period. On the other side, behind us, it is 18-12 in favor of Montreal. 6:14 left to go in that match. Game behind us actually also going to halftime soon, so 6:14 left to go in the first half. And it looks like New York has made a substitution. Darren Templeton back on the sideline, back in his place, number 18, Brian Amundsen. So Bouchard sending into Mastin. Mastin working his way around. Guillaume Bouchard just drawing Testaverde out a little bit. And now Simard. Nice little touch pass from Bouchard. The pass to Asano. Nice passing. Good teamwork by Quebec there. Testaverde trying to get around Simard. The pass to Castelluccio. It's to his right. Can he get up? Yes, he can. Nicely done, Matt Castelluccio. And he's going to take it in for another point in favor of the New York Warriors. It is now 18-10. New York trying to keep it close. Quebec trying to extend their lead. Mastin getting bumped around. The pass out to Simard. Long pass, nicely caught though. Well done. Good job by Patrice Simard. .357 left to go in this first half. Quebec up 22-11. Lost our video signal, but I will continue with the play-by-play here. Now Castelluccio with the ball. Trapped between three defenders there, but Brunel passes over to Testaverde, and now he's going to take it down the floor for a score. It's now 22-12 in favor of Quebec. Mastin racing down the floor. The pass over to Simard, another goal. It's 23-12. Testaverde with the ball, crossing over the center line, and he's going to take it cleanly. Nobody close to him, so it is now 23-13 in favor of New York. Mastin takes the ball. Mastin, the long pass down the floor to Simard. He's going to catch up to it before he goes over the line, and he's got it. It's now 24-13 in favor of Quebec. And there's a turnover off of Amundsen. It goes out of play. And we're going to get a substitution into the match for New York. Number 2, George Casares, and number 7, Leo Biscaya back into the match. Simard now. Patrice Simard for Quebec. Into Mastin, nicely done. Good reach by Mastin. And that ball a little too far out in front of Castelluccio. And there's a fight for the ball. A timeout called, however. Did Mastin have possession or Castelluccio? Let's see what the referees rule here. And they're going to say Castelluccio called timeout with possession of the ball. So New York will retain control. Brunel with the ball. The pass over to Castelluccio. He's going to grab it. Oh, Castelluccio gets demolished there. But that's going to be a point for New York. 25-14 the score. Samad over the line. 26-14, 2:30 left to go in the first half. Castelluccio looking to pass it out, and it goes to Casares. George Casares now being helped out by Leo Biscaya. Oh, and he loses the ball, but it's going to go out off of Quebec. Up 26-14. On the other court, Montreal up 29-18. 16 seconds left to go in the first half of that match. And I have to say, so far, having seen all the teams, the French-Canadian squads that are here this weekend have really kind of been dominant over everybody else. We'll see how that plays out as we enter. Samad to Asano. Asano, the pass over to Mastin, who takes it. Castelluccio couldn't get there quite in time. Mastin scores. 47 seconds remaining here. 28-16 the score. Oh, and that ball just too far in front of Castelluccio, but it was last touched by Mastin, so New York will retain control. 40 seconds left to go here in the first half. Castelluccio looking to get around Mastin. Casares trying to hold off Mastin, but Castelluccio gets over the center line. Mastin reaching for the ball, couldn't strip it away. Castelluccio meeting it with Patrick Samad. Castelluccio getting away. Nicely done, Leo Biscaya, to free up Castelluccio. Oh, and that ball recovered by George Casares. Nicely done. 12 seconds left to go, and New York now (28-17) the score. Samad making it 29-17. Brunel just holding onto the ball for a moment, and now he's going to take it. He's not going to get there before time runs out, and that, ladies and gentlemen, the end of the first half. It's 29-17 in favor of Quebec. New York Warriors have a lot of work to do in the second half if they're going to make a match of this one. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the second half, you are watching the 2017 Kennebunk Savings Rugby Rampage. We'll be back with the second half in just a few minutes. Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to start the second half here. It is New York versus Montreal. Montreal, the visitors, up 29-17 here to start the third period. Excuse me, Quebec. For ParaSportsLive, I'm Tony Jackson. My apologies to all the Quebecois out there. I am repeatedly calling the team Montreal. There is a team from Montreal here. I realize that Montreal is just a city in the province of Quebec. Joe Testaverde for New York. Ball over the line. So Mastine for Quebec, taking the ball over the line. It is now 31-18. Quebec over New York. Joe Testaverde for New York. trying to get around Mastine. Brunel trying to clear some space for him, but Bouchard holds him off. Now Brunel backs over the line. That is a point for Montreal. 32-19 the score. Excuse me, 31-19, excuse me. And there's another point for Montreal. Now it is 32-19. And it looks like Testaverde in malfunction here. Let's see what's going on. And while we have a quick moment, update on the other side in the third period. Montreal NEP Wildcats blue 32-21, 5:51 to go in the third period. Looks like Testaverde just lost his wheel there for a moment. Sometimes those axles come out of the front of New York. Working his way around the Quebec defense. Testaverde working his way around, trying to get around Asano. Mastine is there, well read.